Okay, so in this video, I'm going to discuss the object-centered view of knowledge and the subject-centered view of knowledge. The goal of this video is to explain how knowledge flows through the classroom in different ways. So we have these two kinds. So in the object-centered view of knowledge, you start with the object, and then from there you put a circle around it, and then you have an arrow. The arrows can represent some kind of interaction, whether it be questioning, lecturing, learning, and the list goes on. From there, you write a T in a circle. The T in the circle represents the teacher, or someone who has knowledge about the object. It does not necessarily have to be restricted to a teacher. From there, we have arrows that branches out into S's with circles, which also represents the students. So S is equal to student. So here's our object centered. So over here, we're going to do our subject centered. So you have the subject in the middle. And then we branch out actually in all directions. So from the teacher, from the subject, back and forth, student, student, another student, and then we'll do another student over here. And then from there we have arrows going from every student to each other and the teacher. The arrows going both ways means that there's a mutual interaction. So either the subject's interacting with the student or the student's interacting with the subject, student to student, teacher to student, that kind of thing. So both of these display how knowledge can flow, and it's not limited to the classroom. This can be applied in sports or even in a job. So for example, in a sport, a coach may see a play online they want their team to execute. They can go the object-centered way. The coach, who can also is the teacher also, can also memorize this play. And then when they memorize it, then they'll take it out and they'll show each of the teammates to execute. Or they can go the subject-centered way, and they'll have the play. And then everyone watches the play, they see it, all the players see it, they interact with one another, they can ask questions or improve the play amongst themselves. An example in the workforce is being an engineer. In this example, the object and subject would be like a project, and the teacher would be a boss. So some bosses prefer they just they look at the information and they relay it to each one of their employees. But over here, when you have the project at the center and the boss over here, it allows everyone to see what's going on, and then they can all discuss within one another about clearing up any confusions, questions, or ideas. So as you can see in the object-centered and subject-centered views of knowledge have the same goal, to illustrate how knowledge is spreading. So, but they do differ in the way knowledge is spread. The object-centered is very is one-way flow, where it just goes from the object straight to the teacher, straight to the students. Or the subject center is more fluid or interconnected. Another difference is the depth each has. So the object center has distinct layers where the knowledge is at, and the information that's passed down, where the subject center allows everyone to be on the same playing field and ability to receive knowledge. In the classroom, it's important to understand how knowledge passes, but one should not be just limiting themselves to this in the classroom idea. It also can be applied to our daily lives.